I can look at comments from here.
Yeah, you need this PC right here.
Okay, how are you going to work though?
I have my Windows.
Okay.
It started.
Okay, people get an up view of my eye then. People get an up view of your hip.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I'll tell you when I'm done.
Okay. Okie dokie.
It's ready. Okay, everything's set up?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hi, you guys. This is Andrea, and I am doing the live session tonight by myself. Tomoya is here, but he has some things that need to be done, need to be finished right away. So I am going to be here by myself. I don't know if I will finish the whole hour. It depends on if anyone joins and if anyone has any questions. If there's only a few people and no one has any questions, we might end a little bit early. So, one thing I wanted to start off talking about was the American Thanksgiving holiday. And I thought that the American Thanksgiving was always on the third Thursday of November. However, this year it's on the fourth Thursday, which is today. So today is Thanksgiving in America. If you're in America and you're listening or watching our podcast, happy Thanksgiving to you. And I'll talk a little bit about American Thanksgiving before I start answering questions. I'm just looking up to see how is it decided? How is it determined when it will be? Oh, okay, I was wrong. It's always the fourth Thursday of November. I was mistaken. I thought it was the third Thursday of November. Okay, so on Thanksgiving, usually most American people until recently took the day off as a holiday. And it's basically just to commemorate the pioneers who came to America and their somewhat semi-success in befriending the Native American people and in surviving basically the hard season. When the pioneers first came over from England, they were coming to a land that had not been settled. It was very wild. Many of them had to fight for subsistence. They had to grow their own vegetables, but they were growing vegetables in a land that they were not familiar with. And they didn't know how to grow vegetables there. They didn't know what kind of vegetables to grow. And so the story goes, whether this is true or not is questionable, but the Native American people helped the pioneers grow vegetables. They taught them how to grow corn and pumpkins and squash. And turkeys are native to wild turkeys are native to North America. And so the pioneers would trap turkeys and have turkey dinner. But this was kind of the first, supposedly, the peaceful dinner between the Native American people and the pioneers. That's what we were told. Reality is a little bit different, of course. The Native Americans were subdued, and they were kind of killed off by many of the diseases brought over by the Europeans and the British coming over to America. Hi, konbanwa. We have a couple of new users. And so anyway, today is always kind of a remembrance day. Thanksgiving is a remembrance day to give thanks for the food that we do have, and to be thankful for the harvest season. We're able to harvest and get vegetables like corn and squash and green beans and things like this. So it's kind of just a celebration of having good things to eat and having peace within our family to enjoy this. After Thanksgiving, the next Friday, which would be tomorrow, is Black Friday. And this is basically the day when companies stores start putting things on sale for Christmas. So because the American Thanksgiving is at the end of November, we don't start decorating anything for Christmas until after Thanksgiving. So from tomorrow, we can start putting up our Christmas decorations and playing Christmas music. And a lot of the stores have big sales in order to get people to come out and spend money and get ready for Christmas. And so that is kind of the background between of Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, and also Black Friday. Black Friday is a great time to buy big things if you're looking to buy like big TVs or appliances or electronics or tech products. These things tend to go on sale on Black Friday, and the stores get very crazy. Most people take off work on Black Friday too. So Thursday is a holiday for Thanksgiving. Friday, people take off. And then Saturday and Sunday are usually holidays. So most people have a 4-day weekend to have a nice dinner, relax, and then do a lot of shopping and cleaning up and decorating on the weekend. So it's a very, very busy weekend for Americans. Traditionally, our food would be turkey, and usually we cook a whole turkey. We don't cook pieces, we cook the whole bird. We would have vegetables that we can harvest in this season, usually pumpkin, sweet potatoes, and corn, peas. Our mother always made some kind of bread or cornbread, usually a cornbread that's seasoned with herbs and spices and cut up vegetables. And then that's put into the turkey to kind of soak up the meat juices and makes what we call stuffing. Cranberries are also a traditional food. They're harvested a little bit earlier in the year, not quite in autumn, but they're very sour and they make a nice kind of like a chutney or a relish that goes well with the turkey meat. And then we usually have a pumpkin pie or an apple pie or some kind of pie to finish off the meal. So it's a very heavy meal. Oh, I forgot mashed potatoes and homemade bread too. So it's a very heavy meal. It's very good though. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving much in Japan because I am usually working and I don't have time to cook a whole turkey. It takes hours and hours to prepare the traditional meal. So I don't usually cook this in Japan, although I have. I find that Japanese people don't really like turkey meat. It's a little bit gamey. It's a little bit like samigaru, right? It's not like a chicken. So it's not really a popular food in Japan. So. Okay. From tomorrow, I mentioned we can start decorating our Christmas trees and putting up our Christmas decorations. And I haven't thought about it, but I will probably put up a Christmas tree in our room here somewhere. I need to find a space. At home, I haven't prepared anything yet, but I have a very small Christmas tree at home because my dog is very big, and if I have a big Christmas tree, she would knock it over. So I bought a smaller one a few years ago, and I'll put up my small Christmas tree this year. Okay, how about you guys? Have you already started decorating for Christmas? And if not, when are you going to? Are you going to put up a Christmas tree or put up some kind of decoration? Let me know. Okay, we have some questions. Oh, I don't know how to read this name. User PT4, I'll just say. こんばんは。英検1級の単語で innocuous が出てくるですが、native は使えますか？ Innocuous, not really. Innocuous. I feel like these are one of the words that we don't really use in conversation very much. It means not harmful or not offensive, but we would tend to just say it was harmless. It was a harmless situation, or that was a harmless question. We wouldn't say innocuous, really. We don't really use it in conversation, to be honest. I think it's looking at the etymology. This word seems to be from Latin. So innocuous, the in means not or no, and nocuous means injurious or harmful, so meaning not harmful. But we don't really use this in conversation very much. You do need it for the test, however, so yeah, if you're studying for Eiken, EQ, please do remember it. I recently helped tutor some younger students who were taking the Eiken test. They took Eiken Jun Nikyu and Jun EQ, and both of them passed, so I'm very happy about that. They had passed the written test, and both of them were practicing for the interview test, and both of them passed recently, so I'm very, very happy. When I was studying Japanese actively, we were encouraged to take this is T2-san, sorry, I just saw your logo. We were encouraged to take the Nihongo Noryoku Shiken. And the Nihongo test is also like this. There's different levels. There's level 5, level 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1 is the highest. But these tests are kind of mendokusai, right? They're very troublesome to study for. I think, in a way, the TOEIC test is a little bit easier to deal with because it's one test. Everyone takes the entire test, the same test, and there's no different levels. And then you're given a score based on how well you do on this one standardized test. So it's easy to administer for sure. Okay, we have a question, another question from Tito-san. Where is Tomoya? He's just over here, actually. He needs to finish up some very important paperwork tonight, so he's working on his own thing tonight. And I'm kind of finished with my teaching for today, so I said I would do the live stream by myself. But I don't think I'll be here for a full hour. I think I will be here for just 30 or 40 minutes, unless you guys have a lot of questions. So if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself here. So another thing, I was talking a bit about American Thanksgiving, and it's a very different culture. In America, I feel like our most important holiday is Christmas. But in Japan, Christmas, this is not a Christian country, so it's fine. But Christmas is just another work day for most people, including myself. And then if you have a date, like young people go out on a date on Christmas. But in America, even if we're not Christian, we usually take the day off and we spend the day with family. And again, we have another big feast. Some people have turkey again. They've just had it for Thanksgiving, but if they like it, they'll have it again. But a lot of people make a different thing, like they'll make a ham, a big ham, or some pork roast or big roast beef or some kind of roast meat dish, or even seafood, like we do big salmon or shrimp dishes. But Christmas is definitely a day when we spend at home with family. So this year, I'm working on Christmas, and my husband is working on Christmas, and both of my sons are working on Christmas. And so I was thinking, I want to cook a Christmas dinner, but no one will eat it with me. So I need to change the date. So I've been coordinating with my family all day today, and we've decided that we will do early Christmas on December 22nd, which is a Monday. And kind of the same thing, like in Japan, I know Oshogatsu is the big holiday, but on Oshogatsu, I'm free, I'm not working, but and I think my younger son is okay, but my husband is working on Oshogatsu. So we decided we will have early Oshogatsu also on probably December 29th. We'll get together and have another big meal. So I need to kind of prepare for that. It's still a little bit early, but I'm kind of thinking like how much do I need to do osoji? I don't want to do osoji, right? What do I need to do before the end of the year? Because next week is already December. And December is a really busy season, right? We're getting ready for Christmas. We're getting ready for Oshogatsu. We have to do osoji. We have to do our accounting and our taxes because we're, small business here. So it's just a really, really busy season. And I should do osoji here at the office as well because I didn't do much last year. So it's just a super, super busy time. And actually, I'm working full time until, I think we're working until December 28th, maybe, which is the Sunday. Yeah, up until December 28th. So there's just not much free time at the end of the month. Yeah, so hopefully you guys don't have as busy of a schedule. Hopefully you get a little more time for cleaning and getting together with family. It's usually this time is dinner time. People are cooking dinner and getting ready for dinner, I know. So people are busy. If you're just watching, that's totally fine. You don't have to comment, but if you can, what big plans do you have? Does anyone have any plans for the end of the year? Like we have a month, we still have a month, but do you have anything that you want to do before the end of the year? Any last minute studying, or are you planning a trip anywhere? Some people are planning to go overseas. Yeah, I just wonder what people are doing. One of my students here is planning to take her whole family to Vietnam. They're going to go to Vietnam for the holidays because I think it's the only time that they can all get together. So I think it's the mother and her daughter and the daughter's baby, and maybe the daughter's husband, and also her son and the grandparents, the woman's mother and father. Everyone is going together, so it sounds like it should be a good trip. And lots of events are popping up, even though it's getting cold. Lots of events are starting to happen. So if you live in a bigger city, you might see some Christmas events coming up, like a Christmas market. If anyone is in Hiroshima, there's a really good Christmas market in Hiroshima. I think this year it is December 19, 20, and 21st. I know Tokyo has several, and Osaka has a big Christmas market too. So if you can, please try to visit those events and enjoy the winter season. For myself, I'm working on those days, so I can't go to the Hiroshima one anyway. We don't really have a Christmas market in Okayama, really. There's some really tiny ones, but not really an authentic one. But I have my annual health check at the end of December, so I need to kind of lose some weight before then. And I know I keep saying this, but it's true. I don't want the doctors to tell me that I'm BMI is too high or that I'm too fat or something. So I started dieting, and I'm trying to be very careful about what I eat. Of course, I still eat some snacks, but just not too many. I'm cutting down on breads and pasta. Still eating some, but cutting down. Cutting down on sweets and treats and junk food, and trying to just be a little more mindful of my health. I was kind of shocked today because Japan has a very good health system. It's very easy to get medical care here. It's very easy to get health checks here. It's very cost effective also. Like the cost for an American, the cost is extremely reasonable. It's very cheap actually. And so I go for health checks once a year, sometimes twice a year. But I was shocked because one of my Japanese lady students said she never goes for a health check, never. And I was wondering why, because you have access to a very good health system, a great health system. Why would you not make use of it, right? But she said she believes in her body's natural immunity, her natural ability to fight off disease, and that if she gets sick, she would feel something. But I've known people who have had serious diseases, and obviously that's not always true. You don't always know when you have cancer, or you don't always know right away when you have diabetes. So it's very important to get checked out once a year. And in my case, I'm working with young people sometimes. I have younger students, and so I don't want to pass any disease on to them. At schools, the teachers are required to get health checks for tuberculosis, because that is a disease that can spread. But also the schools just want us in best condition, just in general. So yeah, I don't want to pass any disease on to anyone. So yeah, I will get health checks. Do you guys get health checks every year? I wonder. I had one in the spring, but just a basic one, just blood test, weight, height. I think I had to take a chest X-ray. That's required, and maybe eye test, and what else? Hearing test, and a few other things, but not really anything difficult. I opted out of the more difficult tests, but I'll take the more difficult test this in a few weeks, this coming month. Okay, it looks like we don't have very many viewers tonight. Probably because Tomoya is not here, sorry. And no one really has any questions, so I'll probably cut off in a few minutes at the 30-minute mark. And maybe about 6 more minutes. I'll try to get to 30 minutes at least. So if you have any questions now, please ask. We're going to end the live cast in about 5 or 6 more minutes. Oh, we have a new comment from Mommy Moo. That's a cute name. Hi, Andrea-san. I really enjoy your podcast. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't know why, like I'm not sick, but my voice feels a little dry today, so I'm probably not sounding very good today. I'm sorry about that. I wonder, Mommy Moo-san, have you listened to the podcast before, or is this your first time? We do really appreciate all of our listeners, and we appreciate that you guys join us every week. The live thing, it's just for fun. We don't get anything from this. It's just to be able to connect directly with our podcast listeners. We don't get any benefit from this though, so it's just kind of volunteer in a way, I guess. Because if we just make the podcast only, it's just us talking, but we have no way to connect with our listeners. We have no way really, unless you leave comments like under the videos or whatever, there's really no way to do any kind of direct connect with you guys. So this is kind of why we do the live streaming. And it's fun, but like when we make the podcast, we usually have a script. Tommy makes us a script, and we follow that, and then we ad-lib some. But with the live streaming, it's just completely no script whatsoever. We don't usually have anything in mind when we start talking, so it's completely freestyle. It's completely ad-lib. And we never know which way the conversation is going to go. So it can be very random, like today. Today just happens to be American Thanksgiving, so I had a topic, but otherwise I was thinking, what can I talk about? Oh, we have another comment from Ancestors Ukulele. That's a strange name. I like it. I'm watching this live from my hospital room. Oh no, I'm sorry. I always listen to your podcasts. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and I hope you feel better soon. I will not ask why you're in the hospital because that's private information, that's personal information. But I have been in the hospital before, and I know for a fact hospital life is boring. There's really nothing to do there. When I was in the hospital for a short time, a few years ago, I was not allowed to bring my PC, and so I couldn't watch anything except on my very tiny smartphone. And I took textbooks. I took like Japanese textbooks to study, and I took some self-help books to read. But in a week, I whizzed through those very quickly. I had nothing to do. It was so boring. So I really feel sorry for you, Ancestor Ukulele, that you're in the hospital, because that's just not a good place to be. Yeah, the nurses are fine. The hospital's nice and clean. It was comfortable. The surgery I had was very easy. It wasn't painful, but just the hospital life, being stuck in the hospital, I hated it. I really hated it. So I hope you get out soon. And Mommy Moo-san, I've been listening to it for a while. Thank you very much. We appreciate our repeat customers as well as new listeners too. And I'm sorry if my English is a little bit fast. I'm kind of nervous because Tomoya is not here tonight. So when I'm nervous, I tend to speak a little more quickly. So I'm sorry if it's difficult to understand. I'll try to slow down a bit. Do you guys have any plans for the weekend? Right now, at the moment, I'm just planning to work. I always teach on Saturdays. Saturdays is always a fun day. Tomoya will be working at an event. And then Sunday, I'll be working at an event with him. So we're working all weekend. And yeah, next weekend too. We're working every weekend actually until the end of the year. But the weather is getting really nice. It's autumn now here in Okayama, and lots of beautiful leaves, lots of yellow and red leaves are around. So it's a good time to get out of the house. It's a good time to take a walk, go to the park, enjoy the fresh air, enjoy the scenery, look at the beautiful colored leaves, maybe go to a nice cafe, have a coffee or something. So I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'm going to cut off now because it is reaching the 30-minute mark, but I hope you guys have a good time. Thank you again for listening, and we'll probably be back again next week, this time with Tomoya, hopefully. So thank you guys for listening. Okay, bye. Thank you.